up?
What's up?
How are you doing on this fantastic Wednesday?
You know what? This hump day is real throwing me some lefts and rights today, man. Just some curve balls from all over. But other than that, I'm doing peachy king, peachy king.
Very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
I think this is the first time that I got our spaces up and going without a hitch. I don't think I'm having any technical difficulties this time, but we'll see. We'll
I'm the
see.
one that's struggling with technical difficulties today.
I know you are.
This is in my world. I'm like, nope, outside day. I don't care. You want to? We can play Mud War. That's what I need. I need to go back to like 5th grade, 6th grade, and play Mud War and just pick up some mud and throw it at my buddies. Like that's.
Oh, we've
I need old tech.
yeah, I feel you. Want to give a shout out to Cat Ballou and Lisa A joining us. Thank you, ladies. Nice to see you here.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah. So we have an interesting theme tonight, and some things that we're going to touch on. We're going to talk about the woulda, shoulda, coulda, or shoulda, coulda, woulda. I was looking it up to see which way you're supposed to say it, and I decided upon shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, and let's see what else we talked a little bit last time on liquidity and then buy and sell walls and how those can affect the price of a token. And so I think that will be something fun. Cat Baloo says, if I coulda, woulda, shoulda. if I coulda, I woulda, shoulda done it. Shoulda done it.
Should have done. We got Lisa and Elizabeth are in the house as well.
Yeah. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Elizabeth. Ladies.
Elizabeth said she's here to supervise.
Thank you, Elizabeth, because we need it. We need
I probably need it more than you.
yeah. Oh.
I'm ready for my warm milk and I'm going to bed. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I was gonna so just at the beginning here, if you guys would share the space out, share the stream out, that would be fantastic. If you haven't followed our new channel for the show at Dip a Toe, it would be awesome if you did. And we've successfully created a Rumble channel, so we're also streaming on Rumble as well, which is also at Dip a Toe. So yeah, we're making a little bit of headway here in this social media atmosphere or stratosphere.
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're going global.
We're going global. Yeah. Global. Hey, Crypto Professor, how are you? You missed the intro music. Darn it.
Since he missed the intro music, I think we should make him stay till the outro music.
You should have to stay.
Yeah. Simon says you have to stay till the outro music plays. Crypto Professor.
Yes. Oh, actually, he should. Simon says Crypto Professor should be a guest on the show sometime.
We can invite him right now.
XRP Slave in the house. Good evening, Mr. Falsetto, and the rest of the Dip-a-Toes.
Oh man, look at that, Lisa. I actually, so where I'm at tonight, Melissa, I do not have that ability to put up the comments for the viewers, everybody out there, just to let you know. Yeah, that was my experiment. Technical difficulties. Otherwise, I'd be throwing them up. But yeah, don't get me started on that. That'll be a 5-hour show.
Yeah. Can we just touch on it real quick? It's definitely not something, but
hold on a second.
All right. Talk about this for a couple minutes. I think it's fantastic that John Deaton is challenging Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts to be the senator there. And I find it very interesting that she immediately goes to labeling him a MAGA Republican, and that the Republicans didn't have a strong enough candidate to go up against her. I think it's so funny. And I was going to write a comment. I don't think I actually did. I was going to, but I'm saying, you know what? John Deaton is backed by the people, and he doesn't need, he's not a fake MAGA Republican, right? Don't even go there. You wish, Elizabeth, that he was just a run-of-the-mill MAGA Republican, right? You wish he was, but he's not. And he's coming for you, my queen, my lady. You'll get
This
knocked
is
down,
I
knocked
think this
out.
is a good real life as we know it. The end of the world, and we know it.
Really?
Illustration of the old system and the new system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
This is just when you when I watch how she presents herself and these types of things, I'm very much often reminded of what that old system is like and those days of old are like. Now those days of old had great principles, but you must adapt. And the adaption or the adoption of that adaption
I bet
is
keep your
in
first.
your face. It's in your face.
Yeah.
Like you don't know why you're fighting it, other than maybe you had some other things going on that you wanted to see go out just a little bit longer, and that's off the board now.
Mm. I think what really excites me, I mean, we talked about this last show about the things that make me so happy about this space, but we're heading into a new world. Politics is different, the banking system's different, the way that we're going to do everything is going to change, and it's someone like John Deaton running to become a senator. This is he was just a person that decided to get involved in the XRP fight. A lawyer. I didn't realize he was from Detroit. I had no
Mm-hmm.
clue that I didn't really follow him all that much. I mean, I follow him a little bit because
Is he still
obviously
in Detroit?
no, he moved.
I mean, of course not. He's not in Detroit. He's over in Boston.
Yeah, right. He's in Rhode Island, I guess. And so, anyway, but the thing is that I see this a lot. We know several people that have gotten involved in their own communities in at the local level, um, and trying to make a difference and educate themselves. And so, this is just another area where you have a person that has decided to get involved. He got backing from the people, and now he's got a confidence in himself and the backing from just your average everyday person to back him for a Senate run. And I hope that he does well. And at minimum, if he gets on that ballot, he's going to expose a lot of stuff. So just him running is going to make a difference with the things
Kind of
that he's
interesting. It's in Boston once again.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a new tea party revolution.
I love
Detroit,
tea.
I
I
know
make
you.
you know what? I make an okay brew. It's not top shelf, but I mean, it'll definitely get the party started.
Let's see. XRP Slave says, MAGA, what an unintelligent word. Wow. Please expand. What make a, what do you mean unintelligent word? I don't know. Elizabeth says politics and voting were created for us slaves. Agree. Yeah.
Mm.
Keep us in a box.
Did you catch her comment before that?
What did she say?
Where she's here to supervise translation trolling.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Always I have family in Boston. It's a stupid word.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, you think about that for a minute. Okay, let's just touch on he's the the phrase that she used, and I'm going just in my own words here, but something along the lines of, "Oh, he's a MAGA person or she's a MAGA person," right? Right. So like it's like, time out, highly intelligent leader of ours. That's all you got to say? My 12-year-old could come up with that. Like, come on.
Right.
If you're gonna throw mud at somebody, you gotta get the good mud. You gotta do a nice ball, right? And then you gotta have a good throw, good distance, good timing. Yeah, you're just throwing mud at the wall at this point. And this is right out the gate. Not a good sign.
She's weak. She doesn't know what she's talking about when it comes to this space. First of all, that's something. But the other thing with the MAGA, it's a label. I don't like to be labeled, right? You start slapping a label on me, I'm going to push back. And people can decide what they think that label means, right?
Sure.
So they've kind of boxed a group of folks into the MAGA crowd or whatever. And I don't know. It's really unfortunate. And hey, keep on saying that, Elizabeth, because that's going to do you no good. It's actually going to work against you by saying that. And yeah, Lisa.
I know.
Lisa, I posted on her post, "You're fired." And she did not reply. Yeah, I bet she didn't reply. Yeah.
It's probably and I'm going to get back to the shoulda, coulda, woulda. That actually probably got sent to her social media manager.
Yeah.
And she's probably, that social media manager is probably in like 2 seconds of that receiving that message, like, well, that's not me. That's not directed at me. And that's her. I'm still employed for a time. We're not going to respond to this question.
Exactly.
I would be that one. I'm fired. Am I fired? Who's this from? Oh,
yeah. Wait,
no,
what?
No, we're good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Huh? Oh, what happened?
No.
Oh.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. What you have any shoulda, coulda, wouldas?
Oh, are you kidding me? My whole journey is filled with shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But this is a topic that that we kind of talk about, but we don't really, right?
Yeah.
Because it's intertwined. It's actually on the back end of Mr. FOMO, right? Mr. FOMO just doesn't magically show up on your doorstep one day. I mean, it might appear that way, but no, there was a lot of things that took place to get Mr. FOMO to your front door, trying to, scare you into something or scare you out of something. And that really comes down to, some of the shoulda, coulda, woulda. You heard about a coin called, and I'm going to use this example, so please don't anybody rush out and do an emotional decision right now, either now or whenever the heck you watch this episode. Stronghold, shoulda, right? So both last week, you and I, both we had that shoulda, right? We had that shoulda, and honestly, maybe it was I coulda, and then it leads us to the shoulda,
and I woulda,
or maybe it was, or I woulda back then, right? And that's the evil circle of the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Could chuck, would chuck, if I would cut, chuck, would. Of crypto, would you buy that? But that leads you to the poor decision making, and now what happens, like for you, myself, definitely self included, for the next 2 days after that, almost actually through all of Saturday, I was focused on Stronghold and its price point. I knew I could see on the chart where it was going, but there was my focus. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And it was really, actually, it took away from some things. And there's many times where I've been in trading where I saw something and I knew it, but for whatever reason, I paused. I let doubt cream in. Mr. FOMO showed up by some other means, and I didn't do something, or I did do something, and I always, a few minutes later, I go, I should have waited. Oh, red flag. You could have waited. You should have waited. But would you have waited? No, I didn't. Obviously, I would. not have done that had I known this was going to happen, right? So there's some of your shoulda, coulda, wouldas in a nutshell. It's
Yeah.
it's a mother plucker.
Well, and I'll say this, as we dive into this space and you start to learn things about money and learn things about the corruption, and there's so many things that in the crypto space, that kind of intertwines within the information sharing within the folks that follow crypto, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing to me because there's a lot of folks out there that explain, like the reverse Kramer type of deal. The reverse Kramer, he'll go on and he'll say something, and we're supposed to do the reverse of what he does. Or if they start talking about it already in the mainstream media,
Right.
it's because their bags are already packed and we're their liquidity, right? We're their exit liquidity
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
as they've already packed their bags. And so they do this, pretend something is really bad, or they just don't talk about it. They omit it completely. They don't make any references to it, whatever. Or if they do, they talk about things in a real, like, not in the mainstream way. They just kind of put little feelers out there here and there. And until they really start talking about it, the public doesn't know. And then, of course, the public jumps in and starts buying. Well, the crypto space is the same way. And it's amazing, like, because you're fighting against that, right? You're sharing that information, you're trying to teach people, yet we still fall for that crap. And I noticed right away when I got in, like many years ago. I mean, I'm not many years ago, I guess, but I mean, I've been in this about 5 years now, I think, somewhere in there, 5 or 6
Mm-hmm.
years. And they don't, even people that I think are my friends or friendly or whatever, they don't really talk about certain things. They weren't really talking about certain things until it was already starting to run, right? And then all of a sudden it's, you got to buy it. So kind of like this stronghold thing. I heard about stronghold a long time ago. In fact, I was over the weekend, I do things like this. I listen to things and I write down notes everywhere. Like, I have so
Uh-huh.
many notes, it's ridiculous. And I will write things down so that I can look into them later. And I started writing things in a book, and I had different connections and different companies and different tokens. Stronghold was one of them, that I wrote down. I mean, and it has to be well over a year ago. I think even it might have even been 2 years ago, right?
I would say I'm in that boat. The
Yeah.
first time that I heard about it, but I still
And
couldn't get
I
it.
and I didn't know, and I didn't have time to look into it or whatever. But of course now you hear about it and you're like, "Oh, well, I should have gotten some," you know? And if I would have known
Should.
now, then when I know now, then I would have got it. And it's the same for all of these things. And so, yes, I would say for anybody that is jumping in on this space, and you start to hear all of these coins start to pump, and they are, there's a whole bunch of them that you could make a little bit of money off of. I guess maybe look into some projects that you think have good bones to them. The companies, who are they related to, and decide how much money you're going to play with. Like, just don't get crazy with your money and decide you're going to sell something that you've been holding forever, because you think you're missing out on something else, right? Give yourself a plan. And I don't know, what do you think, Simon? Is that
Well, that is good advice. The problem is, as you know, it's executing that advice. One
yeah.
one thing there is back in 2017, 2018, we had the ICO craze wave, right? There's all these projects coming out. and they were doing an initial coin offering, right? So you'd send them X amount of Ethereum. Then when they went live, you would get the coin on, the best rate that would before they went out see ICOs. So they would have this funding phase, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then they went live, right? And so everybody was going through and trying to capture these ICOs and then, ride the pump, and then they would dump with everybody else. Like that was kind of the plan, or at least the talked about plan from some of the seasoned individuals. But when it came to like trying to find out a who's who and a what's what, vastly different than there is now. Stronghold, the company has been around a long time, but in the crypto space, when I mean a long time, anything that's been around for 3+ years is
Yeah.
technically a long time. Okay. So let's be transparent on that. 3 years. That's actually in reality not very long. Okay. So you look at a company like Ripple, 2009, right? Because the XRP was in 2007, then it was acquired 2009 on my XRP history. I think I'm close. I don't know when the company Ripple was started. I'm sure you're finding that awesome information out right now.
Yeah. Looking for it.
Drum roll.
Keep going.
So if you think about that, let's say that, okay, let's say 2009 they were created, right? Let's just do that. We got to wait till 2029 before they've been around for 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually 10 years you're established. 20 years, okay, you're kind of really officially recognized in your industry, whether that's locally, nationally, or internationally. Now, they broke out the digital Louisville Slugger and they started swinging. They are the Ken Griffey Jr. of companies right now in the crypto space. One of the many, right? The Hank Aaron's, the Babe Ruths, all these great baseball players, or people that can hit the ball really, really far and can do it on a consistent basis, right? They're known for that. So, you got a date for me?
Well, it is really Lisa said 2013 or 14. I think where the confusion comes in with Ripple, because it was originally was it OpenCoin when that was started. Let's see. Jed McCaleb built with Arthur Brito and David Schwartz, Ryan Fugger in 2005.
Foul language. Poor guy got teased all his life, still does.
That's what it is. And I was going to do,
I got it.
On this. Developed an
Ryan Fugger conceived. Wow, that sounds interesting. Ripple in 2004 after working on a local exchange trading system in Vancouver. The intent was to create a monetary system was decentralized. So that's when it was conceived, but when was it incorporated? By the way, this is Ripple Labs on Wikipedia, so not 110% there. Let's see. Concurrently, in May of 2012, Jed McCaleb began developing digital system, which transactions. So that's the system. Rather than money process Bitcoin in August 24, Jed hired Chris, and they approached Ryan and digital currency IDs. There it is, right there. Oh, here's your open coin. In September 2012, they co-founded the corporation Open Coin. So let's moving on. I think Lisa might be getting the gold star for the day. On September 26th, Open Coin officially changed its name to Ripple Labs. Okay, so I'm going to call that a 2012
right
official creation, right?
Yeah.
Arthur Brito,
I agree, crypto professor. Though basically, I will say this about Ripple, and I wasn't going to talk about this today. I do have a lot of research that I did, and I was going to put together a video of how these guys all came together. It's there's some history there, and we don't. I mean, we don't even know who Arthur Brito really is, right?
It's either at the bar, the bowling alley,
Eh,
or the golf course.
yeah. I mean, I had Chase. Yes, you were close, Lisa. I had tracked it back, when they were living together in a house, creating these different things, and so these guys have all worked together for a long time, and they all have
Dang,
their
man.
the things that they've been working on, right, individually, and come together, and then they go back apart. Uh, but it's they've been around in the space just as long as Bitcoin, if not longer. The circles. So that's all I'm gonna say. Really, I mean, we'll have to do a show on that sometime, or I'll have to someday put all of my research together in a cohesive way so that I can explain it. Crypto professor says he does slave. No mention of him in the XRP lawsuit. Oh yeah, because XRP said Arthur does as he pleases. Yeah, which is pretty curious, isn't it? I mean, it's very hard to find. I think I found a picture of him, but it's very difficult to find anything really about Arthur Brito. And I even tried to ask Chat GPT one time, and they were like, I don't have any information about that. Like, oh, but you should. You should have information. Uh, what is she saying? I don't know what that. No mention of the. In any event, so woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. There's plenty of things that I should have bought, and I would have bought, but I couldn't buy them at the time, type thing.
Ooh, that's a tough one. See that
Yeah.
right there, like the seeing it all play out, and yet you don't have the ability to pull the trigger. And I mean financially, right?
Mhm.
That's probably one of the hardest things to accept and get over per se. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we got my friend, my good friend Kita's in here. Hey Kita, and I just made her a speaker, so if she chimes in, I'll
Cool.
that.
Hey,
Cool.
friends.
Cool. Cool.
Hey,
Hey, friends.
how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much. This is such a great topic, by the way.
Thank
Um,
you.
woulda, shoulda, coulda. Yeah, I've
Well,
had a
well,
couple, two, three woulda, shoulda, couldas.
well, tell
Yeah,
us. Come on,
And
tell.
go back
uh,
now. This is a learning channel.
oh man, all right. So, 2017, a little person like me decided to get an account with Coinbase
Uh-huh.
and very politely purchased some Bitcoin at $1 a piece. I
Oh
had
my
no
God.
idea what Bitcoin was, and I inadvertently sold it. Go figure.
Oh,
Um, yeah, that's a woulda, coulda, shoulda kept it. Because I think I had spent like $100 and had like 100 BTC.
wow.
So
Mm.
yeah, that was a woulda, coulda, shoulda moment that hurt my feelings. But oh, excuse me, never used but. However, what I will say is that
Whew.
I do agree that it wasn't my time
Yeah.
with that. I do
And so
believe that. So
that's like that what I was getting at was the hard part is accepting that part, right? The opportunity's obviously gone. How would you have known where this is going to go? And then accepting that nope, it's not my time yet, for maybe one reason or a multitude of reasons, and then also accepting all of that and swallowing that, and then moving forward with that.
yep.
It's very tough.
And
It's it
even
that's a
it was
that's a
even
tough
better.
thing to
So I
do.
got into XRP, and real that's how Melissa and I met. Um, in this illustrious digital asset space, and
Mhm.
um, did well, accumulated a nice bit, and ended up um, being part of the ledger update debacle.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
mm.
and lots of good,
I'm nauseous
upwards of
now. I'm
about
nauseous for you right now.
30,000. Yeah, it was about
No.
36,000 that was taken. Um,
Oh,
Value
at
at the
that
time?
time, I think the value of that was about um, I would probably say about 24,000 at the time when it was taken.
I want to
wow.
hug you. I'm so
And
sorry. It
however,
sucks.
hey, all I
It's all
can
right.
say is thank you, Gary Gensler. Thank you, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Because in him dragging out the court case, that allowed me to be able to get XRP at a discount. I don't know about you, but
Right.
Right.
so thank you, Gary Gensler. Appreciate you.
So now that leads into something else that's part of things that we've learned in crypto, and that's when you know something's on discount, you don't hold back. You
Right.
go and get it, right? You know it is, right? And it sounds
So
like
long.
you knew you're like, oh, this is gonna go on for a while. I have a play. Yep,
Yeah,
we're gonna back up the truck every day. Gonna do just a little bit and a little bit and a little bit more, and I'm gonna be back on this pony. Y'all ain't keeping me down right now.
that's right. And the beauty of being able to do such has um, allowed me to get right back where I was. Um,
Well,
Which is
and in the
congratulations.
same
wow.
breath, I can say that it has also given me um, a better appreciation,
Hmm.
a better appreciation for it. It also allowed me to take the time to understand the tech,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and what it is and what it will do, um,
Hmm.
which allows me to be very steadfast in in my uh, in my investment, and I treat it as such, which is an investment. Um, it's a lot different than a lot of people that we're seeing out in the space
Right.
are moving with it. And I just, I don't know. I just have a different mindset about it. I treat it like a 401k, as opposed to treating it as, this is going to make me rich overnight. That's
Mm. Good.
far fetched.
No,
You
Good.
that's
know,
a very
um,
level-headed way to think about this
yeah,
space, right?
yeah,
And you
yeah.
used your shoulda, woulda, coulda to
Hmm.
as a lesson
Yes,
and to educate yourself, and
yes.
that I mean I that's what I've been doing this whole time. And I'm a very cautious person, and
Mhm.
so when I hear of these different things, I see so many people jumping on and jumping off, and I'm just
Yes.
not that kind of person. I need to be a little
And
bit
I
more
think
cautious.
there's lessons too, Martha. There's lessons to learn from it, right?
Yeah.
Um, you know, we all talk about, oh, we're gonna go to God, we're gonna pray about it, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But just because you prayed about it doesn't mean that's gonna happen. You have to put the work in yourself. And in this space, the work includes researching and understanding what you have, understanding what you're getting into, so you don't get, excuse my French, screwed in the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
yeah, all these folks that are that have been negative, say
mm,
regarding XRP as of late, where they're like, this is taking too long. I'm selling my
yes,
bags, and they're buying into these other things. And all I will say to those people is, do you know what you're buying into? There's
right.
other You're selling something that you spent several years researching and educating yourself on. You felt strongly about that particular coin, and now you're selling your bags off because it hasn't pumped like you expected, and you're going to put it into something that is very cheap now, and you're expecting to go high. And what we're going to talk about in a little bit here, and in Simon's going to kind of go over, the liquidity and the
Yes.
buy and sell walls, because he was talking about that last week a little bit, and I had a eureka moment myself where I
Yeah.
really kind of saw it. Yeah, that's why I love Simon. Simon helps me visualize things, and so you're taking a risk. I mean, this whole thing is risky, right? I mean,
Yes.
so
At the end of the day, it could be at the end of the day, regardless of what investment you're in. It doesn't matter what investment you're in. You can have the rug pulled out from underneath you, regardless of how well you think this thing is going to move or not.
yeah,
So you kind of are gambling at the end of the day. And what people are doing is they're over leveraging themselves so much so that any movement can completely just derail them. You know what I mean? Any movement in a negative way can derail them, or anything that comes up where they need some type of their own liquidity, they're not going to have it, you
mhm,
know, instead of treating this like a 401k. Like, as an investment that you look at in the sense of, let me go ahead and put my money in it, because you don't think about that when you're looking at a 401k. When they take that out of your check, you're not even thinking about it. You're not even going to go check it every day like people do in crypto,
yep. I'll tell you
or
that. I'll
Facts.
tell you.
5,000 times a day. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Yeah. That's probably a little bit more accurate. I definitely wake up every hour on the hour, grab my smartphone, look at the market, see what it's doing. Even though I'm not in a trade, I just do it.
Yeah, because you're so ingrained in it. Everybody is,
Yeah.
oh, it went up 2 cents or it went up 10 cents. You know what I mean? Like,
Nope.
on. This is an investment. If you didn't want to invest, then you shouldn't have invested.
Yeah. No, I
Oh,
agree. Something that's
Mhm.
gave me some comfort over the past couple of years during the downtime is I look
Mm.
at it exactly like you say. I know I'm not expecting to make money tomorrow. It'd be great if I
Yep,
did,
it would
but
be great. But
like we gonna have a party if we do,
right.
but XRP slave in here talking about Arthur does as he pleases. And crypto provider just looked at Song Slave, nice Christopher Cross reference, talking about Arthur Brito. That's
Oh my
hilarious.
goodness.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi to Nicole. She's in
Hey
spaces too.
Nicole.
Hey Nicole. So what were you getting ready to say, Simon? You were starting to touch on something, I thought. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
There's actually a lot right there that was said. There's a lot. Like I could have gone down that rabbit hole real quick. The 401k thing. Nope. Actually, most people don't pay attention to that at all. They don't.
No.
Nope, because they didn't do the action to put themselves in that place. You do the action, you become responsible. You become responsible. You wake up at 1 a.m, check your phone, see what's going on. The mindset though of the 401k, like as in treating this as a 401k, I think that's a great a great approach to disciplining your mind of, I am holding this for this long, or until I know that I have reached a certain point in my financial wealth and health, that I now can liquidate this, not as a need per se, but as a growth, right? When you get yourself into the need space, and granted, straight up, full transparency, I've sold crypto because I needed to. Crypto has been my hedge against life. That's what really got me to see a different part of crypto, as opposed to just I'm going to make profit, right? I'm going to trade, and in a year I can be up 100% of my portfolio type of a thing. But when you get in the need space that you gave reference to, those people that are over leveraged, right? They put everything in, hoping something's going to pump in the next days, and then they can be able to take a little bit out to pay their light bill, right? Bad approach. Recognize where you're at. You might not like it. You have to swallow that pill and then continue to, if you want to, invest. You know, some
little
people
pill.
are okay with, what's that?
It's a jagged little pill.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a big fat one too.
Big old
Yeah,
fatty
you
going
got, yeah.
Oh,
It's a big old fatty. Yeah,
What
all
a
right.
batty McFatty is that what you're talking about?
oh
Yeah.
say things
But
that
it's
I not mean to say, people. I apologize. Oh my god.
maybe we should start doing this show a little later.
Yeah, but it does make
Yeah. But those
Period.
are all good sound advice. That sound advice is sometimes the most hardest thing to stick to. I'm a big fan of pay yourself first. 10%. The 10% rule, pay yourself first. It's in 2 books. One, it's really harped on. It's a core principle that they don't talk about, but it's mentioned multiple times. And when that's The Richest Man in Babylon. There's another book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. They briefly mention it like a little nugget from God and universe. Just pay yourself first. And then you never hear it again through the whole book. But that teaches you to save, but not just to save, right? It saves with purpose. You're giving that money purpose. Like you with your XRP. You gave your XRP purpose. The minute you go, I'm treating this like a 401k, okay? That equals retirement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, after X amount of years, after I am good from me not working my day job or whatever it is anymore, right? That's a transitional point for you in your life. And since you have gave your XRP purpose, it is now oh my gosh, I can't say the word. It's very, very important to you. You've given it such purpose that it has borderline higher purpose for you because you gave it that. And that's very, very important. But we don't do that because we don't know that. We learn that through our journey. Kind of like with how many times that you got hit with you bought at $1 and you could have had $5.3 million according to the prices 2 days ago if you held on this long. Actually, you'd have it twice. You probably would have sold at 69. That'd have been $6.9 million in Bitcoin. And then you might have rebought and had another $5.5 million. Hey, but that's the pill you swallowed. You got into XRP. You got robbed blind. You said you ain't going to hold me down, saw opportunity, and you kept on going. Each one of those phases hardened you and disciplined you in a way that only that life experience could have done for you.
Amen.
And that's
Good job.
that's what I like about that stuff. That's what I really wanted to say. So I tip my hat to you for doing that. And this does bring around one of my favorite sayings. This stuff ain't for sissies. This is real stuff. This is real deal stuff. This stuff ain't for sissies. You got to get to learn on. You got to buckle down. You got to listen to some boring government structure things that you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna hit my head up against the wall. And then they say like 3 little magic words. You're like, oh yeah, that was it.
Have you noticed how many people
Like you're totally rejuvenated after like this long 2-hour live stream? You're like, come on, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but have you noticed how many people are just so uninterested in those?
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but in my English class, man, it was tough to stay awake. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, guys. I swear I've been thinking about this a lot. And you know me, Keita. I'm the one watching these boring ones that have maybe I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 100 people watching. And I always think that they're giving signals and signs behind the people when they're testifying. I mean, it's just weird. But now I'm like, you know what? All this crazy shit, these people that come with this, whether they're wearing something or they say something dumb, or you have someone like Elizabeth Warren coming out. I think they're serving as our entertainment. Because these things really are super boring if you're trying to listen to them. And so everyone throw you a bone by, getting you fired up with Liz saying, that the the MAGA Republicans going to try to run against me. And like, oh, I don't think so, Lizzie.
Did you see that? Did you see that announcement that John Deaton sent to Elizabeth Warren with the Snow White stuff?
No.
Snow White.
Oh God, I gotta find it.
Oh, that thing had me crying.
He sent something to her regarding.
Yeah, I think so. And it had like her face on like one of the witches or something. It was, boy, that thing was funny.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is for our entertainment. And if even if he doesn't win, right? Which I don't even want to speak that. He'll win, right? He's gonna win. But
I think that it's going to be important for us, though. I do.
Yes,
I really do.
He's going to be laying out some hard, cold facts, some truths.
Exactly.
And
and it's things that he can really refute the things that she's been saying, and I think that that's what's going to be really important, is that someone hears someone that actually is versed in the space or has the ability to be able to really spar and debate and be able to have good points. So I think that this is going to be very interesting, even if he doesn't win, which I would love for him to. Yeah. I think that he's earned that, I think he's earned that place and earned the space. But I do think that it'll be interesting to see what discussions come out of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to watching this unfold. I'm having a good time so far. I mean, like Simon says, this whole space isn't for sissies, and I've definitely gotten a lot tougher. I mean, I'm pretty tough. I fixed my own toilet the other day. Just
okay,
yeah, got nothing on me. I fixed my own toilet.
Okay, which grandkid dropped the Hot Wheels down there?
No, it was.
Okay.
The darn thing was running. It kept running and running.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I fixed the guts and all that stuff. And then, you got to turn the water on and turn the water off. And I didn't freak out. And this is where it's like with the crypto space, I'm making an analogy here or kind of a parallel. So I fixed the toilet, and then I looked down, and at the shut off where the toilet is, it's dripping water, drip, drip, drip. And I was like, oh no, man, I fixed the toilet, but I broke the shut off. And so like, take a step back, sister, figure this out. I look it up. I find this nice gentleman on the YouTubes, and he's like, yeah, it's 9 times out of 10, it's this. And it's just that little nut, came unscrewed because I was trying. Yep. Boom. I fixed it. And so now I'm going around for the past week or so. I tell Ryan every day, I fix the toilet, maybe even 3-4 times a day. I fix the toilet. I fix the toilet. Hey, don't you love
YouTube University?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love YouTube University.
I mean, look at how many people are out there trying to help others. I mean, yeah, there's some people out there that are, they're making money and stuff like that, but I just love people.
I learned how to garden from them.
Right?
I learned how to garden from YouTube.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll take it.
I'm trying to learn. Let's see who else we got here. The new mindset is listening on Spaces also. Welcome to Dip a Toe, my friend. So
dip
that toe. Crypto professor.
Wait, let me find out. Do y'all have like a whole theme? Because I must have missed the theme music.
Listen.
Oh yeah, we do have theme music.
Crypto professor. He was sad because he missed the music. I could play a little bit of the intro.
Just a snippet.
A little snippety snip. All right, so here we go. Let's see.
Just for clarification, this is just a brief intermission. Maybe you need to order dinner. Go ahead.
out like 80s throwback.
Maybe this is a good time for you to open up a new tab, go to that cryptocurrency exchange, and buy a little extra. You had a little dip in the toe.
A way to dip a toe in there.
It is.
Listen, that is the best 80s vibes I've heard in a long time. That's what I'm talking about.
I love it so much. It's what is it? It's retro synthwave by it's Casey. Darn it, I should give the guy a shout out, and I can't remember his last name right now. I put it in our outro on there because I think it's such a great song, and I've been listening to it all the time, and it's free. Like he just shares it with people. He shared his talent with others for free, and I think it's so awesome. And I bet he doesn't even know that it's the Dip a Toe Show song. But I
like it.
I love it a lot.
I like it a lot.
So
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. Yeah, it's very good.
So we were talking, unless someone else has their woulda, shoulda, coulda. I mean, there's a whole bunch of woulda, shoulda, couldas,
there's a lot, but
and
it's something you got to recognize. Like,
it
you know,
does.
anytime you're saying shoulda, coulda, woulda, like it's no different than like you saw something in your house or your apartment or wherever you're at. Melissa's rocking and Simon is all nonchalant. And you're like, I should take care of that. In that brief moment, you have that thought. You're like, oh, but then you don't. And you move on. You go throughout your day, and then suddenly you come back to the thing, and you're like, dang it. I knew I should have taken care of that right then and there. Right there. That's like a classic example of that shoulda, coulda, woulda. And it totally affects you, right? It totally affects you. So the next time, do you learn from that?
Yeah.
Or not?
These are all lessons that we're learning. And just like Keita said, thank you, Gary Gensler, right? And the slowness of the regulations and all the things that we've been going through here in America to be able to buy some of these assets for the prices that they are. I mean, look what's happening with Bitcoin now with the ETFs, and I mean they're buying it. They're making some big purchases, and it is a scarce asset. And the fact that folks have been able to buy into that prior to them getting the lockdown and that on lockbox, right, is amazing.
And let's not even talk about the halving.
Right.
That's going to make it even more scarce.
Exactly. And so the fact that there's those of us, a small population of folks that are giving this our attention. I mean, there's a lot of us that we're conservative about it. We're researching the projects. We're looking at the connections that are being made, and we're making educated guesses at who we think the winners are, which is the same thing that the Richies do with their backdoor information, right? Because the people that win are the ones that have the information. The winners are the people that make the good decisions.
They call that smart. They call that smart money.
Right. And I mean, and those are the folks that have access to the information. And the thing that is so glorious about this is that we actually do have access to this information. And there are people that are out there giving signs, making connections. They're telling things in a roundabout way. And you just have to be observant enough to catch it, I suppose. And so if you look hard enough, you'll find what you're looking for most times. At least that's my opinion. It's worth the time and effort that goes into educating yourself on this space and making a network, creating a network, or joining a network of folks that are doing the same. And don't waste your time. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but there's a lot of negativity that's out in the world. Just stay away from it. It's not going to serve you any good to get yourself overly involved in the negative stuff. There's plenty of positive people that are willing to help and lift each other up and share information, and I think that that we're going to all be better for that. So that's my soapbox there. We got our DNK that's joining us on Spaces. Critical thinking has a lot to do with the accumulation of data, logically analyzing, which that's all I can see on his thing. Oh, logically analyzing and then open-mindedly coming to a rational, unbiased conclusion. Well, gosh, don't you fit in with this show? Huh? Welcome. Welcome to Dip-a-Toe. I love it. That's the kind of people. That's the kind of people I want around me. People that think like that. People that think like Keita, that you think like you, Simon, like Crypto Professor and XRP Slave and all our beautiful friends, Elizabeth and Lisa. And yeah, I'm just
Yes.
I feel blessed
Good.
to know all of you.
And the crypto space is full of that. You get us to calm down a little bit, drop our emotions, and we can make a very calculated, thoughtful, and rash decision. Very rash.
And you know what? If you're wrong, you own it, right? This is like pull your big boy pants up, your big girl panties on, get them pulled up, and you make the decision. Don't be a follower, right? Try to educate, ask questions. If you have a solid question to ask somebody that may know the answer, and then keep asking until you find the answer, right? I don't have all the answers. I'm just connecting dots and grabbing stuff all over the place, and I'm putting it in front of me and looking and saying, like, what is all this stuff here? You know, there is a there. I just I don't know if I'm in the right room yet. Same thing, you know. But you just keep pushing forward and keep educating yourself, and you're going to come out the other side great if you do that. Trust yourself. You know, empower yourself, trust yourself, and give yourself the doubt. And if you do make a mistake, I made a mistake a time or two, then, you know, if Keita can lose 36,000 XRP and come back fighting, you know, come back with the Mike Tyson 1-2 punch, you know, we all can do that. So we have incredible opportunity to do something really special.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, crypto professor. I was told by a friend to buy Link when it was at pennies. That one haunts me a bit. Although good, no regrets. no regrets. Yeah, I saw Link. Actually, wasn't that's Chainlink, right? Crypto professor. I think Link was one when I first got the Coinbase app. They had, I don't know if they still do it or not, but they had a like little tutorial lessons, and you would get free. You'd answer questions. You'd go through and watch these videos, and you'd answer questions, and they would give you free coins, free tokens or whatever. And Link was one of those. I think I have some links somewhere, but by the time I realized what it was, like Crypto Professor said, it was much more expensive. You know, it's like, yeah, it's,
you know
great.
What? But how are you supposed to know that?
Yeah.
You know, how are you supposed to know it's supposed to, you know, oh, it's going to be epic. What do you mean epic? Which part? You know, you know, exactly. We're supposed to make mistakes. Well said, Slave. Absolutely. You know, that's part of it. I mean, if I'll say this in a slightly different way and tone than I was told in my apprenticeship as a union sheet metal worker. If you're not screwing up, you're not learning.
Yeah.
If you're not screwing up, you're not learning. So, and it took me a little while to really wrap my mind around that. And it's like, no, you need to make a mistake because your situation is going to be different. The principles and foundational principles are still there, but you have to apply them in slightly different ways depending on your situation in that moment and what is your perceivable future also in that moment, because your future now, how you see it 2 years, that could change. You could have a
Yeah.
totally different view, right? You could be on a totally different, you could be on the same path. It's just way more, so much more detail. And now you're changing things that you might want to do on that part of your path, right? So yeah, if you're not screwing up, you're not learning.
And if you do nothing, you're not learning,
Absolutely.
Nothing venture, nothing gain type thing. If you're not
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you're not going to go anywhere. If you're not on the train, you're missing out, man.
Get on a train, bus, bicycle, motorcycle, skateboard, rollerblades. Get on anything that moves in a semi-forward direction and upgrade as you go.
Slap some training wheels on that tricycle and get going, friends. Huh? Come on, join us.
I was more of a big wheel fan.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that a dip a toe moment?
that is a dip a toe
It is a
moment.
dip a toe.
Right. I still
Dip a toe. Now we've come up with a new word, dip a toe.
dip a toe.
Dip a toe.
I've been wanting to get a big toe that I can dip down. But I haven't found it yet. When throughout the show, it's like, dip a toe.
I'm gonna tell you, that sounded way worse.
What I said,
Okay.
it sounded worse than what I said earlier. I don't know how that's possible. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Kita, I'm glad you're bringing these up because I so want to bring these up, but I can't bring those up.
You can bring up anything.
I'm good for that. I'm sorry. I have no filter.
No, don't apologize. No apologies here. This is where the mistakes happen and we learn from them.
Yeah, exactly. So Simon, we are in the second hour of the show. And one of the things that I was hoping that we could talk about was this liquidity, the importance of the liquidity. And we were talking about stronghold last week, and you brought up really interesting points, and you were showing some graphs or your trading area, and showing the pay and sell walls, and boom, it really gave me a eureka moment to understand that you can, people can manipulate some of these coins with these buy and sell walls, right? I mean,
oh yeah, it's very easy. If you have endless amounts of money, you can pretty much manipulate any market, and that's part of a strategy. That's 100% part of a strategy. And I never really understood in the beginning of my crypto journey the importance of volume, the importance of liquidity, and even though they are different things, they are arguably literally in the same cup, so to speak. So when you think about, is there enough volume there? That's more like, is there a lot of people in the room at one time? Cool. Think of like, okay, New York Stock Exchange. No, scratch the New York Stock Exchange. I want you to think of the 1980s movie, Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy. It's called Trading Places. Do you remember the movie?
I do.
Love that movie, by the way. Right. But they are on, they're on the stock floor, right? And everybody, they're all gathered there, right? That's kind of a representation of volume. Like, there's people here. If I wanted to sell a little bit at this price, it'd be no problem, gone instantly, right? But you also need to look, well, how much, even though there might be a lot of people here, Well, how much money's been passing around to everybody back and forth between trades? That's your liquidity, right? So like, even though let's say there's 100 people in a room, if each one of us only has $5, that's only $500. Well, that's not enough liquidity. But if there's 100 people in the room and we all have $1,000, well, hey, now we're doing pretty good, right? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so that's volume versus liquidity. 100 people in a room, you got volume. Liquidity in the room depends on how much money everybody has, and there's a kind of representation on that on a trading chart. Let's go. Well, actually, on an exchange trading chart, sometimes they don't exactly tell you where this is. Let me go here. Share my screen.
Share
it's
it
on the
up.
scene. Entire screen. Let's show it.
Black detector, or it's a block detector.
The
What
block
is
detector. You have to add me to the stream, my love.
Oh, I am sorry.
It's all right. I do it myself, but I'm trying something new tonight. Okay.
I'm gonna do it
So here we are.
so people can see.
Oh, let's get rid of that. That's hideous. Okay, we're looking at Stronghold. You can't see the trading pair, but oh yes, you can. Stronghold. SHX and the trading pair is USDT. So the evil tether. Okay, so we're gonna talk about. They call it volume and liquidity. Here's your volume, but here's also really your liquidity. This is how much money has gone back and forth in Stronghold in the past 24 hours. So from this minute going back to yesterday, there's only been $461,000. We're gonna call it 462,000. Okay. Now,
I'm sorry. Can you let the folks that are listening on Spaces know what site you're on? Just
I'm on. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you, Melissa, for bringing me back to this world.
No problem.
I'm so used to talking to myself in the kitchen, so this is a little different. I'm at bitrue.com. So if you're watching this in the great US of A, you can go to bitrue.com and you can get you some Stronghold SHX/USDT. So I am looking at that chart right now, and I'm looking at the day chart. You can select a certain time frame, meaning the representation of time between each of these candlesticks. That's what they're referenced to on a chart. So sometimes you might hear the reference, well, I use a day chart. Well, what they're meaning is each one of these candlesticks represents a 24-hour period. Some people might use a 1-hour chart, and that shows a vastly different picture, but we're really zooming in from the day chart to the 1-hour chart. So, but since we're on a 1-hour chart right now, each one of these candlesticks, the red and green cute things, are 1 hour of time that has passed. Does that make sense, Melissa?
It does. It does.
Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the old day chart so we can see everything here. And I like the day chart because it gives us a 20,000 foot view. Okay, we can't see everything, but we really can see the city. We can see the lakes. If there happen to be in your state from your airport, wherever you fly out from, bottom line, you got a really good view of the big picture. But we're talking about volume / liquidity. The liquidity is not there. Because your volume is only showing you've only had $462,000 pass through a whole bunch of hands in the past 24 hours. Now I'm going to draw your attention to the what's called the order book. So this is if you're on Bitrue right now on Spaces, this will be on the left side of your screen once you've accessed the trading platform under spot trading.
I also wanted to mention that those that are in Spaces, you can watch the video too on X by going to my my page, and we're streaming there too, so you could actually see what he's talking about.
Yeah. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. So let's see. So we're on the order book, and the reason why this is actually really important as opposed to not, these are alleged individuals placing in their buy and sell orders. But in the reality is it's computers that are doing this, and trading bots that are doing this. Very highly advanced trading bots with very, very great strategies that they use to take a position on where they would like the coin's price to go for their own ends. Now, if one person happened to have $1,000 and they just wanted to do what's called a market buy, so you're just going to spend your $1,000, and what's going to end up happening is you are going to buy $1,000 worth of SHX, but you're going to take care of this order right here, the sell order of 0.009484. You're also going to take care of this other order at 0.009517, 1819, and we keep on climbing up the mountaintop. Ooh, 950 or 95. Oh, it moved on me. You see that? 9520, 9565. We're not quite up to $1,000. 9566, and we're gonna call it right there. Not so 0.009584. Effectively, you spent $950. You have acquired 100,000 SHX. Now that's good for you, but what you technically did is you raised the price from 9484 all the way up to 9566 or 9584, excuse me. So $1,000 is a lot of money to a lot of people. I wholeheartedly agree. But in investing and in crypto, that's really not a drop in the bucket. It's really not. So if you are using $1,000 and you can make the price jump that much, you're a market mover. You would be considered a small whale that can move a market. So to again touch on this a little further, and I'm gonna find a buy wall or a sell wall, actually, right? That kind of caps that out, and we'll get that in just a second. Right here we go.
Yeah.
But in order, it only takes $36,000 to move the price up from its current price, 0.009451, all the way up to almost a penny and a tenth. So 0.0100 or 0.9999. So basically a penny and a tenth of a penny. So 1.1 of a cent, if that makes sense. I hope you guys out there in spaces are kind of picking up what I'm putting down. And it looks like we have a buy wall or a sell wall at 0.011000. This buy wall is or the sell wall is someone's trying to sell, or it could be a group of people, could be a collective few. But on this order, it looks like it's 1,217,432 strongholds for a total sell price of $13,391. To move the stick. Go ahead.
So really, Simon, I kind of learned this and watched this play out when I was trying to buy Divi, which I was also on BitTrue, and I would say I'd have my order in, I'd be watching, and I'd like, I should be next. Well, if from talking with you and visualizing this, if someone has that that sell wall right there, that many, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to buy yours for a higher price until that bag is gone, or until that person removes that.
Right. So Melissa,
right?
if this was you above that, above this order, right? And folks on spaces, there's another order in place for about $10,000 collectively at the price of 0.011500. So that's 5/1000ths of a penny for all you technicals out there. But let's say this was Melissa's order, and she put it in 3 days ago, and then little echo there, and then yesterday or this morning, someone said, well, forget that person. I'm gonna put my 1.2 million coins for sale for 13,000 because I want my coins sold first. So inadvertently, that person got cut off, but technically, this is a sell wall. So that means, in my opinion, the price will get no higher at this point going right now, or there will be at least at minimum a pause at 0.0 at the 1.1 cent mark. Basically, there will be a pause, and what might happen here, and I've seen it in the past, is these manipulators, they'll get up close to that 13,000 and then they'll drop the price down a lot to force this person to move their order down for a cheaper price. If that makes kind of sense. I've seen that play out a lot.
Yeah.
Let's go to the buy section. So 1.1, and I'm scrolling down here.
So these are all.
There we go.
All these greens. That's the buy wall, or
This is the buy order. This is the buy wall. Well, not really wall, order. This is your order book. Your buy order.
These are all the people waiting to buy, right? As
they've put their order in. This is like you. I don't know how it is on the East Coast, but there's a few places here out in Washington State where when Christmas comes along, we have to put in our order for our prime rib. Right? This is everybody that put in their order for prime rib, but so and so is willing to pay this much for their prime rib. Another person behind them is only willing to pay a little less, and they're willing to wait a little longer. And some people are like, no, I am not going to buy that. I won't buy that prime rib for any more than 7/10 of a penny, as opposed to the 9/10 of a penny that someone was willing to pay.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
So here's a buy wall right here. So I would say just right now between those two prices, we're gonna have a pause at 0.007130 for the acquisition of Stronghold. So if I was going to put in an order, I'd probably go about 8/10 of a penny, because I know if someone wants to slam down the market all the way down to that point, my order would probably get filled, and then I would just have to wait for the price to come back up at a later date. But my play is to acquire, just like everybody else, acquire but get a good deal. This is a little bit more advanced than just going in there, dollar cost averaging over time. This is a more calculated move. However, you're letting the casino know where you're willing to buy. Again, back to Melissa's scenario. Right. If you put in your order, hey, mine should be filling next, and then someone keeps cutting in line of your order because they're like, oh, well, that's not that much. I'll pay a little extra. I'll pay a little extra. I'll pay a little extra. And you're sitting there kind of waiting in the wind until your order gets filled. It's not a bad thing. It's just that can kind of mess you up in the mind too a little bit as well.
Yeah. Well, especially if, back to the shoulda, woulda, coulda and the FOMO, this is where it gets you. And then you couple that with having these quote unquote influencers talking about it like, oh, you're gonna make it, you gotta get in, you should get in now, if anything you get in before this, blah blah blah. and you're trying to buy it, and then you mentally are on there and you're looking and you're like, well, I'll just pay a little bit more. What's an extra 5 cents, or what's an extra whatever,
right.
I mean, and then that starts raising the price, because then all of a sudden you get more and more people to do that, and voila.
Yes. Voila. Exactly. Now look, I want to touch back on the volume / liquid, your volume here, right? So $463,000 has traded hands back and forth between buy orders and sell orders, okay, that have been executed. Okay. I'm going to go to Bitcoin now, and I know I'm going pretty heavy here because Bitcoin's worth $51,000 a coin right now, right? But look at this. Look at its trading volume. It's what is that? 1 billion? Is that right? 100,000, 100 million. Yeah, 1.07 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin has been traded in the last 24 hours. Now, that might seem like a lot. That's $1 billion, and that's only 400,000. Simon, that's not a fair side-by-side comparison. Okay, well, let's go one more. I'm going to bring up Divi, and we're going to look to see how much trading volume it has. Here is a great view of Divi. Divi has only had $35 of trading volume in the past 24 hours. Only 35. Okay. Only 35. Well, I mean, nobody really knows to get Divi here on BitTrue. Nobody really knows that.
True.
Its current price is 0.0034. Okay. Again, you could slap down, $1,000 and you're going to raise that price up to, almost, I think that's 20%. So that's 0.00399999. Let's pull out a measuring stick and see where that would get us. So I'm pulling out a measuring stick on the chart, and you can raise it up to your price. It's close. So 16%, 18% basically. So if you spend $1,000 right now on Divi, you're looking about 18%. You would have raised the price up 18%. You would not only own a candlestick like this one over here. This would be you.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
Sure.
question? So, what's to say someone couldn't be the buyer and the seller to raise the price?
Welcome to the game.
Yeah. So
They
somebody
can.
going.
So
it's their money, right? So they're putting it up for
Yeah.
sale, but they're going to buy it to raise the price to that price, right? I mean,
sure. Because a good play is if you have deep pockets, real deep pockets, $100 million to you might not be anything.
yeah. Wow.
Okay. $100 million might not be anything. Now you do run into a problem when you have big money. When you have big money and you don't want to move the market and you want to lock in some prices. Look at just look at this basically right here. I know it's not a good example, but from this area to this area, it's pretty flat going left to right. Guys, what I'm looking at is some sideways action over the course of many days, basically almost a year, 303 days. It's gone sideways on the chart I'm looking at Divi /USDT. So someone with big money has been buying and selling, trying to more than likely do an accumulation and get some people suckered in to buy and provide more liquidity to them. So if someone puts in an order right here, you are now the new liquidity. Look at this. Only that's pretty bad over here. Not gonna lie. That's only not even $5,000 worth of liquidity.
Yeah, that's
not very
not
much.
good.
Right. So for everybody maybe holding Divi that's trying to sell, and there's not a lot of sells either. You're only for $2,600, you could raise the price of Divi just like that. Now I don't know about you, Melissa, but back in the day to get a Divi node was actually it was $3,000. It was $3,000 to get a Divi node back in the day. Not that anymore.
Oh, dude, this can I say this is a woulda, shoulda, coulda, and I in my lesson with FOMO, because originally when I was going to get Divi and I didn't know a lot, I was only supposed to cost me like $3,500 for a node, and it ended up costing me $6,800 by the time it was all done and said. And this was my fast lesson in looking at these charts that you're talking about in the buy and sell. And I was actually able to get my full money back because I watched it. And when the price went up, and I was actually able to go in and get my money back, and I still have some Divi, so I'm still good. But yeah, I mean, I learned a valuable lesson like that. And had I understood liquidity and buy and sell walls, I probably would not have made the decision to buy my node at
Here's a
$68. I didn't know.
here's the good
Just didn't
hustle. Here's the good hustle right here. Look at this coin right here, ASC or ACS. I have no idea what coin it is, but it's up 100%. Okay, now you might go, oh my gosh, this coin ACS. Oh, it's up. It's Access Protocol, man. Oh my gosh, it's half a penny. It's up 100, almost 100% right now. Oh my gosh, this thing's really moving. Lies. Only $363 has been spent in the past 24 hours. That's both on the buy and the sell. So
yeah, if you
so
don't
it
know
didn't
that,
take much to raise up this price. Technically, I bet you that was 200% a little while ago. Yeah, 182%. Someone bought the candlestick
wow.
for yeah. See, do you see that? Let's go look at another one. Look at this one. ADAX. It's a little over a half a penny, about 0.6 of a penny, almost 0.7. Again, let's look at the volume in Tether, $373. Come on, playing games over here. No way. That's a stay away. Don't. If you see anything that's up 110%, 50, I've seen 500%, I've seen 1200%, and you need to go look at these and see actually what's really going on. Because new money or dumb money, and that's
Yep.
not a shot about anybody. That's just you don't know what you're doing. So
Yeah.
please don't take it the wrong way. I've been dumb money before, 110%. I'm barely dumb money in some aspects, right?
Yeah.
I've learned a lot in my days, but I would see something like this, 123%. Oh man, this could run. I would just see. I might see something like, let's see here. Let's go to a 1 hour chart, see if we see something special. I would see this big green thing. Look, it's gonna pump. It's gonna keep going. No, I don't know anything about that.
Can you look at some sense? So I was listening to some folks and they were talking about let's see, XYO is one. I don't know if it's on BitTrue or not.
It is. There it is right there for you.
And what's the liquidity looking like for that? Like, what's the volume? And
The 24-hour volume, $113. $113. Only 14,402 XYO tokens have been traded in the past 24 hours.
What about YBX? Is another one I'm hearing.
YBX.
Mm-hmm.
YBX. No, I don't got no YBX over here.
What about XDP? X dog pig.
XDP. No XDP.
What about Dragon Chain? What is Dragon Chain?
Oh my
actually, I'll tell you what. Dragon Chain is something that was on my radar for several years now.
What's Dragon Chain?
No,
what's the ticker?
What is Dragon Chain's thing? Oh, darn it. I didn't write the ticker down. Is it DRGCH or something like that? Maybe. Darn it. I apologize, guys. What else was the other one? I asked you for YBX.
Anybody who's in the chat? Is anybody doing it in the chat? Hold on, let me look at this real quick.
Let's see if anybody is saying any.
Hold on, let me go look real quick.
Crypto Professor did say most of the liquidity for Divi is on KuCoin.
Is on KuCoin, exactly. And this is just a good point. Again, though, we're just trying to.
We're only looking at one. To be fair, that is a very good.
Yeah, we're only looking at one exchange. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. Hold on, let me go back to this guy. Ding. Sorry.
Because it depends on where. So I guess you have to kind of look at it.
Where's everybody partying at, right? You might have walked in the wrong nightclub. This clearly looks like the wrong nightclub.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and this is not the bar. We want to go to the other bar. What's popping? Let's go to the bar. You know, even let's see here. What's another one? Algo's been rocking and rolling. Ooh, get out of there. This has some good volume. $2.7 million. Right? So you could probably come in here with, let's say you've been sitting on algo for a while and you got $10,000 worth of algo to sell. You could just do a market sell and just dump it on the market, and you wouldn't be, let's see right here, your average sell price would be 1 point or 0.18, so basically 18 cents, 18 and a half cents almost. The current
Mhm.
price is 18.61 cents. So even though that's 18.4 cents.
So here's we go back to the fact of, just because you want to research the projects that you're buying into, and just
Absolutely.
because a token or coin has 0.00, and you hear these people saying there's 1,000% increase and all these types of things, you have to take all these other things into factoring into your decision whether or not to buy that. And then the liquidity part of it is, are you buying this for the long haul because it's a good project and you're going to hold on to it? And or is your intention in buying it thinking you're going to make a quick buck? Well, is the liquidity there for you to make that quick
Yeah,
buck?
do you have people that is someone going to be there to buy your coin, basically? And I
Right,
mean,
right. If there's a
and
big
here's
paywall, if there's a big sell wall,
right.
that you're not going to be able to sell it. So these
Yeah,
are
you'd
important.
have to look at where the sell wall is, and it's like, oh well, you know what? Somebody has an order in there. I'm gonna have to wait till that order goes away before I put my order in. Otherwise, I'm just another sell wall, right? And there might be other people that might jump in with their sell walls per se. I'm not the only one that has $30,000 worth of XYZ coin or whatever you have it. But let me on another note, Melissa, you mentioned research. So
Mhm.
a lot of new people in the game might go, I've heard good things about algo. And I'm going to try to zoom in here as best as I can. And all they might see is just this part. Oh, it already ran up. Oh, it's already done its thing. Oh, I'm too late. Dang it. Well, let's look at a little bit more history, shall we?
And you're talking
This
about
way back.
specifically algo, right?
Kita's got a
What's
question
that?
for you.
Go ahead, Keith.
I said
Talk to me.
specifically algo.
Yeah, I'm talking about specifically algo right now. Right, I'm just using algo
Yeah,
as an example.
it had
Algo,
gone up a bit actually. I think it had gone up like 25%.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, it's already hit from its low, and I know you can't see it there on the spaces, man. I really wish y'all could, because it'd be a beautiful picture. What I'm going to try to highlight here, just from its. I'm going to pick October because that's when we kind of really started running up on everything market wide. If you would have bought in October and you could have sold in, well, by just before Christmas, you'd be up 179%. That's amazing. And you probably would have had the liquidity to do it for most of us small money folks out here, right? Very simple. But the day's not over. All-time high, give or take a few pennies here for algo is, I'm going to say 98.09 cents. I probably got a little bit more I could go, but let's just call it a fair 98. So if you were even to buy algo, today's price is 18 cents. And you were willing to hold, and I do mean willing, you got to go up through the ups and downs. You would, that's kind of funny. Everybody else will pick up on this, why I think this is funny. You would be up almost 420%, almost 419.86% if you held out from today's price right now and waited to sell about 98 cents or just a little bit above. Folks, that is 4 times your money. You put in $1,000, you'd have a total of $5,000, $4,000 in profit. That is why you hold. This is why you look at charts. Hey, what's its all-time high? I'm sold on everything that Algo has in store. I like their team. I like the company. Like everything's lining up real good. Right now, you go from the investor standpoint. Aside from just buying today, maybe you bought today and you're like, okay, phase one complete. Did my homework. Check. I bought and check. Okay, let's move on to phase two. Exiting. When am I going to take profit? You got to ask yourself that question. Even in Kita's 401k scenario, at some point she's going to have to look when she's getting close to the finish line of when she's ready to start to think about liquidating. She's going to have to come and look at a chart and be going, well, we're actually about to start another run. I think this might be a good time for me to start planning my exit, because I've been holding for, I'm just going to use my age. I've been holding for 20 years, and now 20 years could be epically awesome, but you're still trying to get every penny you can get, right? Because today's $20 ain't going to buy you the same bag of groceries. It's more like today's $50 ain't going to buy you the same bag of groceries, in theory. So you got to plan step two. Phase two is you got to really start planning for your exit and when that's going to be. So I really like looking at charts just to show me some history. What do you got? What's going to be realistic? And in reality, if we are to hit all-time highs, Bitcoin hits its all-time high again, more than likely, these other coins, these altcoins that have stood around, can hit their all-time high, and including XRP. Even right now, XRP 54 cents and change. Its all-time high was about $3, maybe a little bit above that, maybe a little bit below, depending on what exchange you're at, right? So you're talking, you're almost talking a what?
$3.09, almost $4. But hey,
yeah.
I don't
go ahead.
But I got to cut out, and I didn't want to just leave and not let you know. I got to get my kids.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's good.
Thank you so
much.
It
was great to have you on the show.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I so appreciate you. And Melissa, I am always down to come and hang and chit chat with you any day. So
absolutely.
And we definitely have to talk about us getting together and doing a space. So let's get it.
Absolutely.
And
love you, my friend.
And I love you back, and I will talk with you later. Have a great night, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye, little.
And my son says bye.
Bye, little one.
Oh, bye. That's cool.
So Simon, can we talk about this? Yeah. So, I don't have my
see your beautiful face. Where'd you
go? All right. So, yeah, this really helps me to understand more. Like, obviously, I'm no expert, but it is a dose of reality, isn't it? Especially when you start hearing, and you're going to hear, coming soon, you're going to hear even more chatter about these different coins. I was listening to a video today that was naming off all of these different ones. And I was thinking, gosh, I have to research and look into these, and maybe I should get me some of these. And, but again, my thing is, unless I'm able to really be able to wrap my mind around it and spend the time to get in there and do the buy and make sure that I'm going to be able to exit, then I probably won't buy them, right? Because if there's no liquidity for you to be able to get out, you've just effectively trapped your money. You've locked up your capital.
Yeah,
right.
You're there until you're able to liquidate somewhere else, man. And that's the bad thing. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, love.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I've learned from you is I could have been one of those people that just gets my money trapped up in there. And so really, since this show, for those that are new, that are listening, that maybe never caught this show before, this is kind of more of a, entry level, kind of talking about the crypto space and dipping your toe, like we're basically dipping our toe into this whole space and trying to help people navigate through. And this is one of those things that I think you need to realize before you go buying bags of miscellaneous coins or tokens that not a lot about, and then especially if you don't know how you're going to get out, you could trap your money up. So what's the tin knocker? XRP slaves and another name for your tin knocker.
Yeah. Tin knocker. That's straight up common. I would wonder if XRP slave knows a Sparky or a pipe fitter, but we have other terms for them as well that aren't as PG for YouTube.
I wanted to give a shout out to Pat Blue. She's in one of my groups, and she also looks at these charts, and I wanted to give her kudos because I will say this, most of the people that I see talking about charts are men. They just are. There's some women, but there's not a lot, and she's really taught herself how to understand this. She knows what she's looking at, and I just wanted to give her kudos for making that effort and giving her attention to that and helping others. So
there's
cool.
There's another one that I watch. Wendy O. Do you know who Wendy O is?
I've heard of Wendy. I've seen her.
Yeah, she's done some charting. She brings things around. She kind of does a news, but what does it mean for crypto? And she has her, like most of us, has her own personal opinion on it. But she does charting too. And dude, she hits home runs, man. She just puts perspective, and that's what charts are like literally meant for. At a very basic level, understanding where you're at, just like a old school map. If you were born before or before 2000s, you might know what a map was. If you're born before the 90s, you definitely know what a map is. You definitely know what a Thomas Guide map is. You definitely know, like, you got to go to the Hotel Motel 6 and grab all the maps for all the states you're about to go to, and you're where are we going? You got this huge.
I got one better, Simon. If you're not old enough to remember going to AAA to get your books and your maps and planning your trip for you, you're probably just a baby.
Yeah, but that was part of the morning, right? You wake up, mom, dad, get your breakfast at the little trucker stop place, and then it was do the map on the hood of the car before you took off, and it was which way is north. Okay, we're right here, so we should be like, and there was like a huge discussion. Usually ended up some type of confrontation that took 2 hours to calm down the car down before you could ask mom and dad for some snacks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Good times. Absolutely good times, right?
No, but I will say this: learning what you're looking at, in the little exercise that you just kind of ran us through, and I'm gonna watch this back and even try to experiment with it myself, to try to understand what I'm looking at. But knowing those numbers, the dollars are really important, to maybe give you some clues on how successful, and not only that, the people that you're listening to that are chiming in and telling you to get these things and all of that, you might get a little bit more information about them too when you actually are seeing something for yourself. Your opinion might be a little different, because are they trapping you into something that you can't get out of, especially when you've got some of these coins, these tokens, there's thousands of them. And like you say, the newbie money coming in, there's going to be a lot of folks out there trying to influence you to buy into these things.
Even on this, show of hands in the chat if you're into XRP. Okay, saw the hands. Hey, I know, right? You might have the same issue of being able to dump your coins. I mean, not sitting there. Most people are like, I would never sell. I'm sorry. Every human being on this planet has their price. You will sell at some point. You will relinquish something. Okay. My point of this is, even with XRP, you may have a liquidity issue, right? People might not be able to buy your XRP. When you have it there, everybody talk about XRP is going to go to $10,000, $20,000. It's like, okay, that's cool if it does. I'm all about it. I will light the fuse and ride that rocket ship, and I'll bring half these people with me. Let's go. The problem is when you're at the top there, are you going to be able to sell? Is there somebody going to be at the end of the rainbow, waiting with a bag full of gold to pay you for your XRP? And that's a hard lesson. Now, others would say, no, man, put that in the market maker, man. It's like, this is true. I like that. But what's happening there is you're almost getting an annuity payment every month. Let's just say, I don't know if that's exactly how that's all going to work, but that's what you're getting. You're getting your principal back first, slowly. And so what's really going on there? If you got that slowly and you took that out every month and then you sold that every month, then you are selling your stuff DCA style in a roundabout way. That's what you're doing, as opposed to taking, you dollar cost averaging out as opposed to in. But instead of you taking your big old bag of XRP and going boom and throwing a big boulder in the lake and creating some unnecessary ripples, that's what can happen, right? So these are things to think about. These are things that I know I didn't know going into this. Any investing altogether, I just knew hey, you buy stocks, and if you do things right, you can maybe be wealthy, because that's what the rich people do. Well, there's a bigger science to that. They don't just buy stock and go, all right, Fred, Jim, how are you doing today? That's wonderful. I just bought me 15 shares of this lobster tail stock. It's going to be epic. They got a blue tail in there. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best. Oh, yeah, let's buy some of that. Great. Got me some too. No, man, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
No.
Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to act a fool for a minute.
By the time that they actually start talking about it to sell it is when the price is up, and they're just trying to get people to come in to be their liquidity to.
Sure, and then that's. I mean, honestly, I think that's a small hustle. That's a big push for a small hustle.
Yeah.
That's a really big push for a small hustle. Hey, man, I'm in this coin. It's got this many zeros, man. I'm up this much. I'm up this much percentage. I'm up 10x on $5. I made me $50. They don't tell you that part. So it's just, don't believe the hype until you do your work, right? If you miss the train, so what? Penny saved, penny earned. You protected your liquidity, right? And that's Alan talks about this all the time. Alan Staple, much love to the Staple crew. Love you all. We love the Staple crew. And I think Mr. Mann's mentioned this as well. And now I'm losing my train of thought because I thought of Mr. Mann and his awesome Spidey mask, and then I went all Marvel Comics on myself. Dang, ADD is a real thing. Liquidity, spending your money. Ellen talks about something and now it's gone. Dang it. Well, I guess I just want to say I love the God dang it, that's gonna annoy me.
What Ellen clicked with me about was, because I always wondered, like, why aren't the rich people all just buying everything up right now?
Thank you.
Yeah, is that what you were gonna say?
Close. No. the
So
rich people, the very, very rich people, they don't
they
get
don't-
in until there's no risk.
yeah,
What's my return? And I won't do it unless there's no risk. They don't risk their money. They don't have to. First off, they don't have to. They don't
yeah,
have to. You and I, in a roundabout way, yeah, we have to. If we want a crumb of that lifestyle, those opportunities, etc., we got to play the game. But they no risk. They don't get in until there's no risk. Then they'll get in.
the other thing is that if they go in and they bought it all, right, they're going to push the price up. And then if they don't have anybody to buy it, right? If the demand is not there yet, if the adoption is not there yet, they can trap themselves and not be,
True, but
they've got their money trapped in something that's not liquid.
Yeah, but you know what? They're not gonna do what most of us would do, and that's put our whole savings. They're not gonna put their whole savings in there. That would be risk. They're not gonna do that. Like, so that their money that's stuck in, let's say they bought up all the Bitcoin. Cool. Well, they control it now, and it probably didn't cost them a fraction of what else they're into. That's their game. It's taken them thousands of years to build that with some families, right? It's taken generations to get there. We are the start of that process in our generation.
Yeah.
Right. So our
Well,
grandkids can do that. And, if they start acting a fool, well, then we'll just come down from heaven and you're grounded. Give me that back.
yeah. It needs to be organic growth, right? It needs to be.
It has to. You can't push it.
And if they were, then people could turn. It only works if we accept, right? You and I, the average person, we accept it as what we're going to use it for. And if we reject it, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right?
One thing I wanted to share, I don't know if you saw, I've said this before, is that I'm a big fan of Brian Brooks. And I just think he's such a smart guy. Brian Brooks. But he had a couple of different clips he went to the Aspen Ideas Festival in 2022. Mm-hmm. And it was him and Brooks. I think it's called Ent Whisper or something like that. Ent Whistler, something like that. From Ripple. They were both at this conference, and it's funny. I was
just thinking like Aspen, and I don't know. I went to a ski resort a little bit there for. He was here at the ski resort. It
was, but he is talking about that cryptocurrency.
So you used
was not meant to replace currency. It's meant to replace banking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So let's see if I can. Hopefully,
can hear
it. It is. And now you're saying that crypto has the potential to put banks out of business?
Well, look, they're not going to put the banks entirely out of business. There are many things that banks will continue to do, but the core things that banks have done since the 1300s, those are going to go away, 100%. And let's just be clear what I mean by that. The reason that we even have banks originated in Italy around the year like 1340, all right? And the reason they originated was because of a set of accounting advances that allowed banks to serve as trusted intermediaries between parties that owed each other money. Before that, literally, I would write you a note and I would promise to pay you money, and you'd put the note in your pocket and you'd see if anybody else would take the note. That's why we prefer to discounting notes. And then banks arose, and it was like, you no longer need to do that. We'll take care of it for you, but you're going to have to pay us to do that. That function of needing a trusted intermediary to maintain ledgers of account to figure out, do I owe Brooks money or does Brooks owe me money? It turns out that function no longer has to be done by human beings. The same way we don't need postal clerks anymore. I can send you an email for free and that's just the end of the post office. Sorry, but it just is.
Damn.
That function will go away.
How am I going to get my coupon pack?
How are you going to get your coupon back? Where are you going to get that toaster, that very valuable toaster, right? What's going to be left for banks is the high value add services, structured finance, investment advisory, all of the things that make a dynamic economy function. We still need people to do that. There's a lot of
ChatGPT's got a lock on that a little bit.
Base of the pyramid, the thing that drives most of their revenue, doesn't need to exist. And that's why I say, and I was saying to one of the organizers, even before we set up on this panel, cryptocurrency does not seek to replace currency. It's a bad name. Cryptocurrency seeks to replace banking. Just if you take nothing from this panel but that's what you need to understand.
Yes. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. And, I listened to, I don't know if you're familiar with Santiago Velez, I think is his name. He said something similar about the role that banks are going to be playing in the future. It's not going to be what you are accustomed to getting their fees for. It is going to be, and of course, all the banking conferences that I sat in and listened to, we're all talking about the same kind of stuff. So I don't know. I just thought I would share that. Wow, it is. Gosh, it's 8:57. Holy smokes!
What you talking about? You can come over to my place and have dinner with me and the fam, dude. Bring Brian and come on down. Let's go. It's only 6 o'clock at my place. We still got dinner time, ice cream. I mean, we got the deal over here.
Oh, I know. I keep forgetting that we're 3 hours apart.
Yeah, but you see me I've been trying to fight off the yawns. I still get up at 4:30 in the morning. That's 7:30 on the West Coast or East Coast. So yeah. I'm still East Coast time, maybe late riser for most of you East Coasters, but 7:30 your time. I'm getting out of bed, making my own homemade tea.
Nice.
Good. Yeah,
well,
nice.
Before we go, I just want to thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight on Dip a Toe. If you didn't get a chance to hear the beginning where we asked you to please, if you would, follow our new Dip a Toe at Dip a Toe, both on Rumble. We're both on Rumble and YouTube. We're kind of starting a new channel for just our shows. It would be fantastic if you would do that. Help us out, get us a little bit more traction, and same time and same next week, same day, same time.
We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. It's gonna be magical. I mean, we're almost at the end of the month. 2 months down, 10 to go. Look out, 2024. We're on a roll.
Yeah. Well, and with that, I hope everyone has a good rest of their day. I wish I was coming to your house for dinner because I'm starving right now.
Yeah, come on, bring you and the man. Let's go.
All right, Simon. Everybody to the 10 that stayed on the whole time. We love you. We appreciate you.
We do. Absolutely. Thank you so very much for everybody showing up in your support. Love the comments as always. Great conversation. And the crypto professor says he's still here for the outro music.
Dropping it like it's hot. Here it is for you, Mr. Professor. See you guys later.
Have a good night. We'll see you next week.